Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, picture this. You're standing at your kitchen counter, right? And you are staring down a literal mountain of potatoes for a massive holiday gratin. Or maybe you're just trying to get those perfectly paper-thin onions for a burger, but you end up with these jagged, completely uneven chunks. We have all been there, and it is a real struggle. Honestly, inconsistent knife cuts take forever, and the results are kinda disappointing. Well, today, we're looking at a tool that is specifically designed to completely solve that problem, the Gramercy Adjustable Mandoline. We're calling this explainer Precision and Peril for a very good reason. We're going to unpack exactly how this gadget promises to totally revolutionize your prep time while honestly demanding your utmost respect. Right out of the gate, let's talk numbers. The Gramercy Mandoline boasts a very solid 4.3 out of 5 stars based on the source review, and it's earned that highly coveted Amazon's Choice badge. That score is important. It immediately establishes credibility. It basically tells us that for the vast majority of home cooks out there, this tool absolutely delivers on its promises of speed and efficiency. But, that 0.7 missing from a perfect 5? Well, that tells a story too. It kind of hints that there's a learning curve here, or maybe a few quirks that keep it from being absolutely flawless. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it sets up our core theme for the entire explainer. The review calls it a powerful, professional-grade time saver that demands your absolute respect. And there it is, that dramatic contrast between precision and peril. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill basic kitchen gadget. We are talking about bringing a piece of serious professional-grade hardware right into your home kitchen. Sure, it'll literally cut your prep time in half, but it fundamentally requires a complete shift in how you operate. You simply can't just casually chop away while watching TV with this thing. It demands your full, undivided attention. Section 1. The Good. Built for Speed. Triumphs of the Gramercy Mandoline. Let's get right into the clear benefits of this sleek, heavy-duty build. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the absolute best features highlighted in the review, the built-in dial. Seriously, if you've ever owned a cheaper mandolin, you know the pure terror of opening a kitchen drawer filled with loose, razor-sharp plastic blade inserts. Digging them out, snapping them in, crossing your fingers you don't slice a finger off, it's a nightmare. The Gramercy completely eliminates that clutter and danger. You literally just twist a side mechanism to effortlessly adjust your slice thickness, anywhere from paper thin all the way up to 9 millimeters. Or you can instantly switch over to julienne cuts. The whole shebang is contained in one single unit. That means less clutter, zero handling of dangerous edges, and a vastly more efficient workflow. Moving beyond the dial, the construction itself is a massive upgrade. Think about those flimsy plastic models that bend and bow the second you push down on a tough vegetable. Yeah, not this one. The Gramercy features a solid stainless steel frame that simply does not flex under pressure. That rigidness is absolutely crucial because it means you get restaurant-quality, uniform slices from your very first cut to your last. Plus, the convenience factor is off the charts here. The review points out that it folds completely flat for super easy storage. And since you aren't dealing with a dozen separate, terrifying little attachments, carefully rinsing it under hot water makes cleanup surprisingly quick and painless. Now, we do need to talk about why I emphasize the word carefully when it comes to washing it. The reviewer actually calls this thing essentially a guillotine for vegetables. And while that's a pretty playful description, it is also deadly serious. The extreme sharpness of this blade really cannot be overstated. I mean, it's built to effortlessly glide through incredibly dense root vegetables, which means it will effortlessly glide through, well, anything else in its path. Gramercy smartly recognizes this extreme sharpness, and that is exactly why they explicitly include cut-resistant gloves right in the box. Section 2. The Bad. High fear factor. The downsides to consider. Okay, let's dive into this and pivot over to the tool's downsides, because using it definitely requires some extra mental effort, especially if you have a chaotic kitchen or kids running around. So looking at the included safety accessories, it's honestly a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, the cut-resistant gloves are rated as excellent and provide highly reliable hand protection. That's a huge win for sure. However, the included plastic safety hat or the food pusher feels surprisingly cheap in practice. The review specifically notes that it really struggles to grip smaller vegetables like carrots or radishes. So what does this mean for you when you're actually cooking? Well, you are highly likely to just abandon that cheap plastic food pusher entirely the second it fails to grip and instead rely solely on those excellent gloves to get the job done safely. Which naturally leads us to another pretty frustrating downside, the dreaded end piece waste. Now, this is a very common flaw with mandolins across the board, and the Gramercy is absolutely not immune. Because of how the safety holder is designed, it just cannot push the food all the way down flush with the blade without hitting the runway itself. So you inevitably hit a hard stopping point. You are always going to be left with this unavoidable chunk of leftover vegetable at the very end. You either have to break out your chef's knife to finish chopping that last piece by hand, or you just toss it straight into the compost. It's a small annoyance, sure, but it is one you'll encounter every single time you pull this out.
Section 3. Pro Tips for Safe Slicing, a survival guide for your kitchen. Let's move to and see how this builds into a really helpful, actionable survival guide for operating the slicer without any incidents.
All right, here are 3 golden rules pulled directly from the review. Step 1, wear the gloves. Just always wear them. It is so incredibly easy to get a little overconfident and think, oh, I'm just doing one quick potato, I'll be careful. Do not do it. Put the glove on the hand that's pushing the food. Step 2, don't force it. If a vegetable gets stuck, violently pushing harder is exactly how catastrophic slips happen. Just back the vegetable up, clear whatever caught the blade, and resume a nice smooth glide. And step 3, this is such a brilliant tip, wet the runway. If you're slicing something highly starchy, like regular potatoes or sweet potatoes, splash a little water right on that stainless steel ramp. It acts like a natural lubricant and is an absolute game changer for helping those dense foods glide smoothly right over the blade without sticking. Section 4. The verdict. Buy or skip. Final thoughts on the Gramercy. Let's bring all this information together right now to help you make a highly informed decision on this pretty serious kitchen investment. So, the crucial point is it all comes down to a very straightforward decision matrix. You should definitely buy it if you are someone who preps tons of veggies, if you love making fresh slaws or stir fries or homemade chips, and you desperately want that durable, restaurant-quality stainless steel build with the amazing convenience of built-in blades. On the flip side, you should absolutely skip it if you only cook occasionally, if you have a genuine, deep-seated fear of razor-sharp kitchen cools, or, hey, if you already own a food processor with a slicing disc that just does the job well enough for you. It really comes down to your specific cooking habits and your own personal comfort level. Which leaves us with this final, thought-provoking question to chew on. Is cutting your prep time in half really worth the absolute respect this blade demands? The Gramercy Adjustable Mandoline is undeniably a top choice for its sheer power and precision. But as we've explored today, all that blazing speed comes with a very real need for caution. So you'll have to weigh your own desire for ultimate kitchen efficiency against the reality of handling a literal vegetable guillotine. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy and safe slicing.